guys, welcome to another tutorial. We are going to be making some translucent marble earrings, Valentine's Day inspired. So I may or may not even use this audio, but we'll see. So I'm going to start with kind of letting you know all the things that you're going to need for this technique. So the clay that I used on this tutorial is going to be Cernit. I love Cernit because you're going to get the most crystal clear translucent look even when it's colored, and we're going to go over different ways that you can color your translucent clay. So the first way is you can use alcohol inks. So when you use the alcohol inks, I'll show you exactly how you spread it in. You can use whatever color, whatever brand that you want. And that is completely up to you. You can also use mica powder. This is the mica powder that I use. I'm gonna say that it's Rolio. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but this was a set of 25. So many different, I would go grab it, but so many different amazing colors. I've had this nearly 2 years, I wanna say. I bought this originally so that I could do my resin art, because when you mix it into resin, it's really, really good as well. This one, out of the entire 25, I might go back and get this color specifically in a huge thing, because it gives any color, any clay, a pearlesque look when it's mixed into the clay, when it's put on top of the clay. It's just really, really cool. That is my favorite color, and it is of this brand, it is White Pearl. So that's another way. And you can also use whatever color glitter that you want. I'm just pulling this because, hello, look at that. So it's almost like, I got this off of Amazon. And again, any color that you want with the glitter that you can mix in. I probably won't do it for these earrings, but I just wanted to show you that color glitter because it's so cool. So not everyone does this. You don't have to. I already know I work this clay, when I say to the bone, to get it like this, because honestly, I had it kind of wrapped up like this, not fully kind of exposed. And so I had to really put some elbow grease into this clay to get it together. Okay, so you want to make sure, I ran it through my pasta machine several times. I'm hoping that it all comes together really well, but this is the translucent liquid clay that I use that is gonna bond your cut up pieces of clay together. The brand that I was using before was Sculpey. I don't know how Sculpey gets away with selling such a tiny bottle for $10. And this is a huge bottle of clear liquid polymer clay. I wanna say I paid like $12 from, I think it's Blue Bottle Tree or something like that. Huge bottle. I don't even know how long I've had it, but this, you don't need a lot when you're trying to marble. The worst thing that you could do is add too much of this. It's going to be too mushy when you go to cut your cane. So let's color these and chop it up. Oh, and I forgot one thing. You're going to need a tissue blade or something to chop up your clay with when you have it the right color or whatever. So I'm going to put on gloves because this stuff is already got me. I think my baby halfway opened that one up last time. You want to make sure that when you have your alcohol ink, please store it upright. It doesn't matter how tight you close those things. They're always just kind of going to leak out on you as soon as you cut them open. So store them upright and let's get started. Actually, I'm going to start with the mica powder first, because I don't want the alcohol ink getting on the other clay. Okay, and you don't need a lot. I want this to be a light pink. See, it's very, very, very pretty. This is gonna be a light pink. Yeah, that's way too much, guys. So what you do is you're gonna mix it in as best you can. I'm just gonna scoop this excess over to the side because, listen, ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, so what you're gonna do, and this is kind of how it looks on the translucent clay. What you're gonna do is fold this up and you're gonna run this through your pasta machine multiple times to mix it up, okay? So we'll come back with that and how that works. And I've definitely got this all over my other clay. But it's okay because you'll see how the purple goes on here. You won't even be able to tell. But yeah, it definitely made a mess. So just a few drops of purple. Now, depending on how many drops of purple that you use is how dark that your color is gonna be. I want it to kind of be as translucent as possible, so you don't need a lot on the purple. I do go ahead and rub that in. Maybe I want a little bit more. It's kind of hard to tell, honestly, until you go ahead and get everything mixed in. Okay, so what you're gonna do, because you don't want, you wanna fold this one as well. You don't want the alcohol ink like on your pasta machine. I do have an Atlas. If you're thinking about getting the Atlas, I think I'm gonna do a product review on the Atlas because I had a different one, a cheapo one. I'm not gonna say that. I had a different one before, and the clay that I was using was not getting thick enough, even on the thickest setting. So when you have designs like this that are embossed, that are detailed, it's not gonna come out well because it's just too thin. Okay, so you know, cutters like that have detail. If you have a pasta machine that is that doesn't roll your clay thick enough, then that's the issue you're gonna have. So it's definitely a good investment. I'm over here rolling the purple through the pasta machine. Let's go in a little bit more. I didn't realize like how pink it was gonna kind of make it. So let's go in with more purple. I don't want it to be really light at all. I don't want it to be pink or like rose at all. So you're just gonna fold it in. Okay, I want to show you this really quick. That's why you gotta be careful and don't use too much mica powder, because it's almost like it, for whatever reason, it kind of like re-separates your clay. And to be honest, I mean, it's not that big a deal because we're gonna end up chopping this up anyway. So I think it might be fine. But normally I would try to get it like this, but yeah. So let's go ahead and cut up our clay. So right about now is when I decide whether or not I'm gonna use acrylic paint and what color I'm gonna use. So I know a lot of makers, they'll go in at this point with, around here, after cutting up with acrylic paint. And that is fine. You do not have to use acrylic paint. Another thing that you could do for this design, for example, I would use like a white acrylic paint potentially. You don't have to, or if you have white alcohol ink, that is also fine as well. And My last marbling that I did, actually, I used alcohol ink and I liked it a little bit better because it did not take as long to dry. If you don't, you have to wait a little bit while for the acrylic paint to dry, or it does also just kind of become runny. And then when you cut your cane, it becomes, it just kind of smears. And I've waited literally a whole day and a half sometimes. Maybe I got a little heavy-handed, but I just didn't think it was gonna take that long. Maybe it's the paint that I'm using. I'll show y'all. Yeah, maybe it's the paint that I'm using, but this particular paint, this white, literally takes, in my opinion, forever to dry. So this is the one that I use. I think I am one day gonna go ahead and switch it out for a different type of paint. So this is same brand of that this is, got it in the same pack, also from Amazon. Don't remember which, yeah, also from Amazon. So that's what I'm gonna use to give it like a cool effect. And you do want to do your best to make sure that your pieces are separated as much as possible, so that when you mix it up with the other clay that you have here, it gives it better dimension. And you can decide how small or how big you want to do your clay pieces. I'm gonna make these a little bit smaller. I normally don't go too small. I like the bigger, the bigger dimension. So now this is, when I go in here, it's gonna look a little bit different because of our micro powder fail, but it's gonna be fine. So. And that actually might give it a little bit of a, it's almost like a little swirly design there, kind of. So another method when you are kind of marbling or gonna make a cane is people will, instead of cutting it up like this, they'll do it flat and then they'll jelly roll it like that. That is another method. And it would look a little bit something like that. It's a really, really cool design. Obviously a lot better. Oh, I don't even know if that's what they call the technique. That's what I'm gonna call it, a jelly roll, because that's kind of like what the design looks like to me. So, we're gonna see how this is gonna turn out, y'all. So, add-ins when you're here at this spot. So you can do, I'm gonna do like a pearl mica powder. We're gonna go in on, when we mix everything up, we're gonna do a pearl mica powder. And I think I wanna use for the very first time some colored foil paper, which I have to find. Okay, so this is my foil. You're gonna see them come in a lot of different ways. This is, I promise you, not the best way to store it. Don't store it like this. I should have found like a better container to store it. So what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna do like a gold and, I don't know, like silver and purple or something like this. I've been wanting to try this one for a while because it's very different. So like, I'm gonna do a purple foil here. Okay, and then of course we're gonna mix that up. And then I have another one that I saw that was different that I wanted to try. Here's a pink one. I don't know if I want to use it this time or not, but I just want to show y'all. Isn't that pretty? So you can do both if you want. I think I want to just do one because I don't want it to, I'm not sure. We'll see how the cane ends up looking or whatever. So yeah, you're gonna mix this up in the clay, and you know, you can mix it up in both. Actually, that probably is better to mix it up in both, but it is up to you. So that's kind of what you get. And it's all about the dimensions that you're kind of trying to go for. I wanna, let me see. I'll just go ahead and do it because I'm kind of extra. So it's just, this is where you can play and have fun. So we got our purple foil over here, pink foil over there, and go ahead and mix up on both sides. Now, this is, I mean, I've never used 2 different foils for marbling, so yeah, we're gonna have some fun. So there you go. Now you're all mixed up. And so what we'll do now is we're gonna go ahead and mix all of it together. Let's mix all of this together. And this is when you're like, oh my God, is this gonna work out? I don't know. I feel you, because yes, it does look kind of crazy. Let's get you in a little closer so you can really see how pretty our clay looks. Okay. And now this is where I go in with a little bit of, to be honest, I haven't even mastered like how much to even put on here. I know that when I scrunch it together like this, I don't want any clay on my workspace. So it's honestly hard to gauge. And you just kind of have to figure it out. I just kind of go with the squiggle. Hopefully that's not too much. That's where I honestly get heavy-handed, y'all. So we're gonna see. And let's do some, I already have it in my workspace. Alcohol is your best friend for cleaning up. Y'all probably already know this, but for people who are brand new to clay, this is you're gonna clean up using that. And go in with a little bit of pearl. Well, I like pearl. I like shiny mica powder there. And you can literally do whatever you want. If you wanted to add like silver, glitter, this is really cool looking too. I did some of this for Christmas. This is probably like Hobby Lobby, like that pretty white pearl. You could do literally any type of glitter. So now we're going to go ahead and scrunch everything up together so we can make our cane. And if you feel like at this point it's not coming together the way you would like, then either you're gonna you can add a little bit more, but more than likely you don't need to, and you can just scrunch and squeeze as much as you can on this one. I really try not to go crazy on the liquid translucent clay, because it's just hard, or it's just so squishy and mushy. Even with a trick to get your cane to come together is to stay together, is to put it in the refrigerator for 20-30 minutes or so, which I actually might do with this one just to be sure. But it seems to be coming together pretty well. Sometimes you'll see it kind of break up like that, and that just means you just need to just keep pressing. And one part that I forgot, so this is going to end up being more like a cylinder, is normally I'll have my it's like a square acrylic thing where I just press it down, and it kind of turns your cane into like a perfect little square, which is, it'll just kind of make things easier to cut. But our goal is to inside have everything be compressed down as best as we can. On the inside, we do not want any spaces. So right here, I'm deciding to not do, I hope I don't regret it, not do the clay backing or like that thin piece in the back, just because I really want it to be like as translucent as possible. And I wonder, I don't know, I wonder if I were to do like the non-translucent clay, the white, that would it take away from the translucence? So yeah, we're gonna see. The only reason I'm like, it might be fine when I run it through the pasta machine is because when I squeeze it together, for the most part, it does not break apart. And I'll show you guys how to kind of even go over it with your acrylic roller before you run it through, just to kind of make sure we're all band together before we run through. So like I said, it should be fine. I just don't want the translucent, beautiful translucent to kind of, you know, we'll see. This is the part of doing this kind of marbling. Like every time I do it, I'm taking like a different risk. Like I remember one time I was so sad. I had forgot, let me look and see. Oh my God. I forgot to put my pasta roller on like the thickest setting, and I rolled it so thin, and halfway through me running it through the pasta machine, it was crumbling. I was so hurt. And I tried to salvage it as best I could, but yeah, that was kind of a fail. So I've learned, but from just kind of, you know, kind of doing this before, I feel that it's tacky enough to run through with no problems. And if there's spaces after I run it through, then we'll just kind of do this again and it's gonna be fine. So it stayed together very well. And I think that has a lot to do with how well you condition your clay. So I'm so excited that went through easy. So the rest of this is the fun part. So you want to make sure that if you have copier paper or some type of copier paper, what I do is I lay a piece on top of my clay and smooth it out. And then I will go over it with my acrylic roller. Sometimes when you roll it through the pasta machine, no matter what you do, you're just gonna have those lines, and this kind of gets rid of your lines. I think they call it varnishing or something like that. I think that's what they call it. I don't know, but I just know it gives your clay and, you know, the top of your pieces the most smooth look when you are going over it. So just comes up like nice and even. So there we go. Okay, I want to do some dangles. So this is Valentine's Day inspired. Sometimes what I start with doesn't end up what I'm using. These will be a cute bigger statement stud. That's gonna happen. This is a very long, like, dangle. I'll say it right here. My absolute favorite supplier for these different cutters is Earblooms Co. She's gonna have, this is like her signature filament. That's how you know she's on Etsy, Earblooms Co. Let me show y'all. Every single one of these is from Earblooms Co. I've been buying from her probably since the early beginning. I'm gonna do a review and like on some of, this is one, I just saw it and I don't know where it went. She made this one. She's not doing customs anymore, but she made this one custom for me. I was so happy. So for Black History Month, I do like to pick earrings. Love her. Super sharp, fast shipping, very little sanding, if at all. So all the gray looking ones are from Earblooms Co. But yeah, this is my very first, I got this one from her, my very first Valentine's Day like collection. So this is gonna be cute. And this, you can use this part as like a stud. So I think we're gonna go in with this. This one first. So yeah, you cut out your shapes. You're gonna have to play. You worked really hard to get to this slab. So every single little milli-inch of this thing, we want to be cut out in shapes if possible. So even when I feel like, oh man, I kind of ran out of space, go in and get you, I don't care how small it is. Like even if it's like this tiny little heart, go in and get you some studs as best you can. Okay, so I am gonna try to maximize, cover every little piece of this slab. So we worked hard on this. It's gonna be covered in our shapes. So let's see. Y'all, I'm so indecisive. I will literally go back and like I will place and move around. I will play like this forever. So I will probably speed up the video right here because listen, the struggle to decide how you're gonna cut your pieces and which one you're gonna use. It's very hard. Let's see here. We can do more of these. I think the biggest part that I learned, I kid you not, I was like 6 months into clay. You always want to have either work on a tile or some type of smooth ceramic glass finish, or your clay. Don't do it on paper. Don't work on paper or any type of other surface. Your clay is adhered to this type of surface, which makes it easier for cutting. So, yeah, don't do what I used to do. I'm gonna do this one. A lot of what I like about dangles is if you want to like make a lot and you kind of just want to drill like one hole and go, that's what I love about dangles. They're super easy. You know, when it comes to like assembling. So I'll probably do quite a few of these dangles in these shapes because they're super easy when you're when you're assembling. So let's do another pair of those. I think those are gonna be so pretty. I cannot wait to see what these come out like. And depending on whether or not my kid wakes up, I'll show y'all how, oops. Let's make sure we don't. I'll show you guys how I do the scraps and remake a whole nother slab. Okay, so we got 2 pairs of those. It's so hard to decide. Let's see. What I need is my hearts.